Welcome to Talking Plant Protein. We are talking dairy today and trends in that segment. Please welcome Abhilash Ravi, nutrition and food consultant for Chembazaar. Let me turn it straight over to you with what Chembazaar is and why you have a unique perspective on the industry.
Hi everyone, my name is Abhilash Ravi and I work as a consultant for the food and nutrition industry. To give a brief introduction of our company, we are a global strategy and business consulting company carrying out constant research activities on various domains across multiple chemical industries. So this basically includes conversations with companies across the value chain, from ingredient manufacturers to food and beverage customers.
And what trends are you seeing in the dairy segment?
So plant-based dairy products have been ever present in the market globally. However, the recent increase in consumer base of flexitarians across the globe has made plant-based dairy a rapidly growing segment, although it is not talked about much as the plant-based meat alternatives. Who could have imagined such a scenario 10 years back? However, currently we are seeing that many leading FMCG companies such as Nestle and Unilever and large dairy companies such as Danone and Yili, who have been part of the dairy market, have successfully launched plant-based dairy products in the market. When we look at the dairy alternative space, similar to the conventional dairy market, there are various categories of products such as non-dairy milk, yogurt, frozen desserts, cheese, and creamers, among others. And a lot of companies, including Danone, the Hain Celestial Company, and Oatly, have a diversified range of products across multiple categories. As we have been keeping a consistent track of the plant-based dairy alternatives market, we realized that plant-based yogurt has been the fastest growing segment, with lots of product launches from companies such as Chobani, Califia Farms, So Delicious, among others. Probiotic dairy-free yogurt has been very popular among the consumers due to its health benefits and allergen-free nature. Oat milk and creamers has also been flourishing in the market due to its similarity in creaminess and texture profile to conventional dairy milk, with companies such as Planet Oats and Oatly being highly successful. The base proteins play a major role in formulating these products, contributing to the taste, texture, and nutrition profile, and the most commonly used protein sources are soy and almond. However, in recent years, protein sources such as oat, pea, and fava bean have been increasingly used to formulate dairy-free products. Typically, a combination of protein sources are used in the formulations to achieve the right nutritional taste and texture profile. One other trend that we have been seeing is that sugar reduction, which has been a major part of the food and beverage industry, has also adversely influenced the dairy alternative industry segment as well, with companies offering sugar-free counterparts to their existing portfolio of sweetened products. The increasing market penetration of dairy alternative products is evident across the value chain, with big coffee chains such as Starbucks and Dunkin' expanding their dairy-free offerings to keep up with dying demand of dairy alternatives such as soy milk, almond milk, and oat milk, which is now a regular part of their menu.
What regions are you seeing the most growth in?
When we talk in terms of demand, Asia Pacific is one of the largest contributing region, valued at close to 10 billion US dollars. Countries in East Asia, such as China and Japan, have historically used soy milk, which have traditionally been considered a part of their diet. There is also a huge potential for the market in this region, which has also been sensed by global players such as Oatly and Alpro, which have heavily invested in China to increase their market presence. However, based on a recent study that we had conducted on dairy alternatives, we found that majority of the recent prosperous growth has been driven by key players in the US and Europe markets, such as Blue Diamond, Oatly, Ripple Foods, and Danone. The US and Europe markets have grown by approximately 25% CAGR in the last couple of years.
Besides consumer demand, what do you think is behind some of that growth?
So when we look at a lot of these consumer behaviors, the general trends among consumers for clean label, allergen-free, sustainable products, combined with concerns with lactose intolerance and obesity, have led to the emergence of flexitarians and vegans who are demanding clean and simple ingredients, health and nutrition, sensory experience, and affordability. Consumers are committed to a healthier lifestyle and also expect transparency, which means that their purchase patterns are based on natural, organic, low sugar options, and they want to know more about the ingredients, sourcing, and manufacturing process.
What challenges do you see up ahead for the dairy industry?
So being constantly in touch with the companies across the value chain, we understand that there are various challenges that the industry is looking to overcome, which include raw material, processing and formulation, and cost-related challenges. So raw material related challenges include supply constraints such as high prices and low production volumes of proteins and the absence of several essential amino acids, in particular plant proteins, which have pushed companies to use combination of proteins for its formulation. The formulation and processing is also a major issue for customers, as maintaining fat content, increasing nutritional profile, reducing sugar content, maintaining stability, among others, can prove to be major challenges while processing dairy alternative products. This in turn contributes to performance-related challenges, such as difficulty in obtaining the desired taste, texture, or shelf life of the product. Taking plant-based cheese as an example, the globule size alters the amount of protein bonds in the emulsion, which affects how the proteins are absorbed onto the fat's composition and in turn affects the melting and texture of the vegan cheese products. Stabilizing agents and gums are typically used to enhance the stretching properties of plant-based cheese. However, it is very difficult to formulate the right blend of gums, solids, and fats that could withstand the process conditions and provide enhanced stretching properties. Apart from the product-related challenges, the costs of non-dairy products are significantly higher in comparison to the conventional dairy products. In order to increase the market opportunities, the cost of non-dairy products will have to significantly reduce in the future.
From your bird's eye view, since you really see this whole value chain, what are some predictions you'd like to share with Talking Plant Protein?
So to summarize our discussions, with the reduction in prices and closeness to the taste, texture, and nutritional profile of plant-based dairy alternatives to conventional dairy products, we anticipate robust growth of the dairy alternative market, particularly in the Europe and North America regions. The dairy alternative market for Europe and North America combined was estimated to be around $8 billion in 2020 and is expected to grow by more than 20% CAGR over the next 5 years, compared to a CAGR of less than 5% for conventional dairy market. With the increasing consumer awareness for a healthier lifestyle and constant innovation from food and beverage manufacturing companies, the road ahead for dairy alternatives looks promising.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to speak with you.
Yeah, thank you.